Intuition is a dangerous thing. Reality defies understanding. Reality defies understanding. Intuition is a dangerous thing. Last time, you all continued exploring the Olympian Holobeam Array. This scientific facility out in not necessarily the middle of nowhere, but out of town enough that it's not easily accessible, out on some dirt roads, that kind of thing, out hidden in the woods. It's this massive concrete dome. It's got this wall around it that you had to go through before you could even get to the dome to go inside it. Multiple layers of security, all very obscure, very secure, but a fairly limited amount of staff here. It appears that whatever they're doing here, they don't want many people exposed to it. They're trying to keep it secret, all that kind of stuff, right? One main building and one security hut, and there are a couple of terminals and a splitter and an atrium within this dome. This sort of large structure of little concrete huts and large metal pipes between them that houses the like the particle accelerator laser system here that they've got working on. Whatever sort of crazy scientific instruments they're using to try and peek at some of the secrets of reality. You've interviewed some of the researchers here, gotten some of their opinions. They seem to be very annoyed with you, at least the head researcher does, digging into all this stuff. Dr. Jamie Campbell doesn't want you digging into her research. She thinks this is her discovery of a lifetime. She really wants to get back to it, seems obsessed with it. But a lot of the other researchers seem a little bit more helpful. They've been more willing to work with you when they can. Until you found one man passed out, and when he awoke, he was apparently emitting UV radiation, and he was blind, and all sorts of other weird stuff was going on there. His family has called in all sorts of emergency services at the moment because he was able to contact his family, and all hell broke loose at a certain point. You guys saw this crazy computer system within the main building, D, who was playing songs that were triggering sanity loss for you. So you tried to shut all that down, and eventually violence began. The security guards were breaching the building. A researcher appeared out of nowhere, just seemingly popped up in the middle of the field between the main building and the terminals, began shooting at whoever she could. Current situation is that all of you are outside. Hallow has tackled this researcher who was babbling nonsense and shooting at whoever she could. This researcher has a bullet wound. Hestia is at the door to the atrium. High Tide and Hunter are both near the main building, and there are security guards, or at least one security guard, on the other side of the main building. What do you all want to do?
Hunter continues to have a mental breakdown.
Absolutely. The full turn
I think
action.
Hessie is gonna try and get the door open.
Okay. Very well. So, the atrium itself, you managed to, like, it's not a very secure building like the others. It's nowhere near... secure is probably the wrong word. It's a sturdy-looking door, but it doesn't appear locked. It's just a big metal door. You pull the handle, you can pop it open. It's a small building, and it has this machine in the middle of it, about waist high. It's very long. It takes up most of the room's length. And then all around the room are sort of racks of scientific instruments and wires going into conduits that go into the floor and then up into this device in the middle. And then this device in the middle connects to some, like, this big metal pipe that you recognize would connect to the big metal pipes on the outside of the building, connecting to the other buildings in the area.
Okay. Anything... Do I know what's in those pipes?
The metal pipe heading between the buildings?
Yeah.
It would just be... It just lets the... Like, it shelters the laser as it's being sent between the buildings and being refracted by mirrors and things like that. So it's probably currently full of laser beams. And probably a vacuum, other than that. I would imagine it would want to eliminate as much of that kind of resistance as possible.
So technically, it's full of nothing.
It's full of nothing, yeah.
Okay.
So you witness all this. We're still in initiative order here. So you only have like a
Okay.
brief moment to do something here. Do you want to like specifically interact with something or check something out or whatever?
Do the pipes look like super solid, or do they look kind of like air duct type pipes?
They look very solid, and but there is one pipe in this room that leads out. I've been calling it a pipe, but it's like it's a large like scientific structure, and you can just see it connects to the thing in the middle of the room directly, and then heads out through the wall. Looks very solid though. Yes.
Okay.
There are
Um.
labels on the thing in the middle that say "Do not open without enacting clean room procedures."
I'm gonna go open the thing.
Okay.
Because our
You-
mission was to neutralize, right?
Yeah, sure. So you take advantage of the situation of the chaos outside and no one being here, and you walk up to this housing and you just pop it open as if you're going to do maintenance on it. Let's see. This is a complicated thing. And I need to check your skills to see what you understand about seeing it. I don't think you know really what you're looking at here. Your character doesn't have any specific skills that would relate to like dealing with extremely precise lasers or physics or things like that. Like you've got lots of biology and medical skills and things, but dealing with this kind of intensely and precisely engineered instruments like this could just be state-of-the-art equipment. It could be alien technology. You have no idea. It just looks like extremely complicated technology, whatever it is. Yeah, looks like very, very expensive hardware.
Okay, doesn't blow up in my face upon opening or anything?
Nothing like that. Nope.
Okay, I guess that's my turn.
All right. So, with that being your turn, let's go back out to Hallow. You have tackled this researcher who is struggling against you, but you've got her pinned to the ground. Everyone else witnessed her disappear and reappear, but you had held on to that situation and did not experience this.
Okay, so Hallow will try to basically pick the situation up off of the ground with kind of holding the researcher like a human shield pointed back towards the main building.
Okay. So you stand up and maybe get her arms around behind her or something. You've got her facing that way. If a security officer were to come around a corner, you would have some cover here.
Yes, and he's going to slowly pull him back towards the atrium if he can.
All right. You start walking that way. High Tide and Hunter, what are you doing? You two mental breakdown buddies.
Yeah. So is there anything around that looks like it would work for being earplugs?
They likely have protective equipment, but I don't know if it would be around. You'd have to go looking for like... It's probably somewhere. It's not near you in this moment, but you would imagine they have some sort of protective equipment on site, yes.
Alright, I'm going searching.
Alright, so you run back into the building looking for earplugs.
The building is currently on fire, so probably not running back in there.
It is currently on fire. That's right. I had forgotten about that. We spilled the fuel and started a fire.
Intentionally.
That's
So you would
why I
imagine-
just stumbled out of the building.
Yes, you're right. So You would imagine they have earplugs somewhere in there, if anywhere. There was a storage room on the far side of the building, sort of where you entered. You'd imagine that's the most likely spot.
That's
That's where
also
they
where
keep,
the
like-
guards came in, right?
That is the same side of the building the guard came in previously, yeah, and that's also like where you saw they kept like clean room supplies and things like that. So seems like
Well, I guess I would go over there and try to peek in the door and see if the fire is crazy on that end.
the fire's definitely spreading, but it hasn't quite reached that room yet. No, I think that's on the other side of the building, so it'll take some time to get there.
All right, I'm gonna go try to find earplugs quickly.
All right, so your turn will be getting to that room, I think. What's Hunter doing?
Hunter's gonna do kind of a swaying beeline behind High Tide, assuming that we're advancing on the enemy, but
Okay.
continuing to have no idea what he's doing.
Excellent. So you two are buddied together. Neither of you can pass a sanity roll at the moment. This can go only well. Back to
It's just like
Hestia.
that time in the hotel.
Indeed.
The hospital, the hospital.
Right, the hospital.
Yes, the hospital.
Hestia, you've peeked inside this weird array of lasers, and you really have no idea what you're looking at. What's your turn?
Okay. Let's see. Hestia's gonna. How fuck-upable do these wires look?
Oh, extremely. Yeah, you could just do some ripping, tearing, slicing, unplugging things.
She's going to start fucking with things in an attempt to cause sparks and ignition, and hopefully laser problems.
Okay. So yeah, you just start slamming on things, grabbing tools and swinging, and...
Yeah. She's lost her presence of mind and is in, well, the people who know what they're doing are saying burn the place down. So I'm gonna trust that they know best.
Alright, as soon as you start swinging at things, these instruments are so precise and so sensitive that, like, the moment you even, like, hit something before you even start ripping wires, this is, like, tweaked everything, all the calibrations have gone off, you've started letting dust into the hull even at this point, and so, like, red lights start flashing inside the room. But you keep going, you keep slamming on things, eventually some sparks fly, and you feel pretty satisfied that you've damaged this thing beyond repair.
Okay. Any chance of, like, igniting something, causing a laser explosion, that sort of deal?
I don't think so, but not without more time. You could set something like that up, but
Okay.
for a single turn, this thing is so sensitive it didn't take more than a couple impacts from you to be no longer operational, very clearly.
Alright.
Even if
So,
not
yeah.
deadly.
I guess that's what my next turn's gonna be.
Okay. Hello. You have this researcher, and she keeps babbling at you. She's saying something like, it lives, it hungers, it gnaws, it shivers. It lives, it hungers, it gnaws, it shivers. Just repeating the same thing over and over again.
All right. Well, they don't seem like they're going to be very much use to me outside of being a shield. So he's going to continue backing up towards the door to the atrium so that he can get a status on Hestia.
You hear the sounds of violence against the machine.
Amazing. Some rage against the machine.
The rage
perhaps
against the
even.
machine, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he hears that and just kind of jostles the researcher a little bit and is like, how do we make sure this thing never operates again?
It doesn't matter. It's too late. We were never meant to know. We were never meant to see. We were never meant to hear. We were never meant to know. We can't know. It's too late. We must fix the problem.
What's the problem? How do you fix it? What do you mean it's too late?
No, that's the problem.
I see. So after he connects the dots that anything one that's heard this song probably is compromised. So if you can, it's close quarters, but if you can get the pistol up and just kind of put one through the side of their head, put them out of their misery, he'll do that.
Okay. I will give you firearms at plus 20% because you have them grappled. Yep. Okay. Coldly and cleanly, as a completely adapted to violence agent, you recognize the problem here. You think, well, that's a shame. And I think the camera sees you from the shoulders down, and we just hear the gunshot, and then the body slumps as you let the body fall to the floor.
And then he just kind of lets out a fuck.
High Tide and Hunter and Hestia, you guys all hear a gunshot, but High Tide and Hunter are entering into the room looking for earplugs. Would you like to spend a turn searching, High Tide?
Yes, because the noise that made me go crazy was in my ears. So
Indeed. So give me a search
something
at minus
blocking
20.
my ears. Oh goodness! Does that mean I'm? Oh, I have a 10.
You have a 10.
Oh.
You start rustling through boxes and throwing things around. I assume Hunter is helping by also just throwing boxes around?
Hunter's looking for the enemy.
Oh, I see. Excellent. So you're looking around, looking through the clean room supplies, like pulling open curtains and things like that, and peeking around, clearing the room. But not finding anything, either of you, unfortunately. The flames grow nearer. Hestia, you're pretty satisfied with the damage you've done to this laser device at this point. You could blow it up somehow if you had, more, if you had explosives of some kind, but it doesn't seem likely that you're going to trigger an explosion of like sensitive materials here or anything like that. It doesn't seem like it seems like the most lethal thing in this room are some fairly strong magnets.
Sorry, one sec. I'm gonna be switching to my laptop. My computer. I'm home now.
I will skip your turn for a moment then and say hello. You've dropped this body, and this is the moment that the security guard rounds the corner. You can just see him peeking out. He has a rifle, it appears. And he just looks around the corner, and he backs up once he sees he's been seen.
Hallow will dash for the atrium door.
Okay. You can definitely make it there in a turn. So you get there and perhaps like duck behind cover there. You can even give me a dodge roll to see how successful you scramble for cover. You manage to get behind cover as a bunch of bullets land in the wall next to the door. Hestia, you've just been joined by Hello, who is covered with a little bit of blood.
Security guard's got a rifle.
How do we... What do we do now? The laser's broken?
Sorry, Dan the player didn't hear you.
The dramatic volume shift, but I fixed it on my end.
Sorry about that. What? It's broken. What now?
Now we have to escape somehow. And anyone who's heard the song is infected. It's part of what is going on here.
Okay, so, then what? We're infected?
Probably, yes.
So we escape and then what?
We escape and then hope Delta Green can do something for us. Or we escape and we have enough time that I can make you forget any of this ever happened. And maybe you can at least get out of this. I don't know about the rest of us, though.
Is there another door out of this place?
Out of the atrium? No. Assuming that's what you're asking.
Yes.
With that lull in the conversation, no longer an initiative, we'll say, but there is a guard, like, you know, watching your door with covering fire at the moment. But High Tide and Hunter, you two are searching through this room as fire approaches. It's starting to spread down the hall towards you guys, and you're just not finding anything useful.
Yeah, I think we should probably put out that fire. Grab the fire extinguisher.
I say continuing to just hold on to my gun.
Did we hear? So we heard the shooting on the top left corner near the clean room, like shooting at the atrium.
So, yeah, you guys were entering that door. You heard a single bullet fired as you're entering that door. You probably heard a spray of rifle fire afterwards as well. But it was harder to tell where that was coming from because you were now indoors at that point. Although, I mean, you knew there was a security guard out front. I feel like it's not hard to connect the dots.
Yeah, and there were people that were going to be shot at behind us. So
yeah, exactly.
Is that front door able to be opened? And the
Yes.
security hut rummaged through.
Indeed, it can be.
That's where I'm moving.
All right. Are you attempting to be stealthy here, or are you just kind of rushing?
There is no possible way for me to be stealthy. I have a negative
right.
stealth score.
You have a negative stealth. So you have this idea, and you just burst through that open door, and you see right at like the bottom right corner of the map, just beneath D on the map, somebody is hiding behind that wall, like they're occasionally peeking around the corner to the right, and they scramble and like like almost slide off of their feet when they hear the door slam open behind them, and you guys see each other for a moment, and they just raise a rifle up towards you. What are you doing?
Where are they?
You are at the bottom left corner of the map. They're at the bottom right corner of the map, the opposite corner of the. If that makes any sense. I'm sorry I don't have this on Foundry to ping it, but like,
so they're outside of the building?
They're outside of the building. They were kind of leaning up against the corner, using the corner as cover in a different direction. But yeah.
Well, I guess upon seeing this, I'm gonna try to scramble around the corner of the building.
Alright, I think they do the same. You both like see each other and then scramble around opposite corners. And then I assume Hunter bursts out of the room as well and sees neither of the people there.
Still looking for the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Hunter forgotten that we set the fire?
Hunter's having a moment.
Hunter's forgotten everything.
He's having quite the day.
He's forgotten everything except for fine dining and breathing.
You hear a voice shouted at you, High Tide, and also Hallow and Hestia. You guys can hear this from a little farther away. It's like, "Put down any of your weapons and come out with your hands up!"
Hallow will yell back if he can. What's to guarantee you won't just shoot me? I've shot a lot of your friends today, and I'm real sorry about that.
You get only suspicious silence in return.
Look, Well, the ones who've committed no violence go, all right?
Is that any
Not
of
all of
us?
us here are killers. Hestia hasn't done anything, I don't think.
I think I might have tried to shoot a firearm, but failed miserably.
I feel like I remember that.
I've got backup on the way. You should comply.
Hala will just look over at Hestia and kind of give her a kind of a, well, I guess this is what to do look, and sticks his gun in the back of his waistband and just kind of like puts both hands out the door first to see if he gets shot at immediately.
You do not get shot at immediately, no.
Okay. He'll warily put the rest of his body into the door frame, just ready to snap back at a moment's notice.
Alright, as you're creeping out that side, he also shouts back at the other group. You two around that corner as well! Weapons down, come out with your hands up!
Oh, that's the enemy, isn't it?
So what I'm gonna do is throw my pistol around the corner because I don't know if he can actually see me, and I will put my hands up and walk around the corner.
Alright.
Gonna come
Thank-
out, hands up.
Hunter's going to think that he's dropped his weapon, but it's going to stay in his hand. And then he's going to round the corner and walk toward them.
You! I said weapons down, hands up!
I did.
Keeps walking.
Paolo, hearing this commotion, starts moving to get into a better position.
Hunter takes a shot, but it did not successfully hit the lethality, so Hunter takes 6 points of damage.
Hunter's down to 1 HP.
Hunter is unconscious. He gets hit in
Thump.
the chest or something.
Can Hestia, like, run over to Hunter and try and do emergency first aid?
You are probably multiple turns away, but you can start running in that direction, yes. As you start running, the guard will shout back, "No swift movements! Walk slowly!"
Can
I'm a
Hallow
medic.
see the
He
guard
needs
at this
attention.
point?
You can see the guard, yes.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna shout, he needs medical attention.
He needed to put the gun down. Fine. Get over
He
here.
has PTSD. He didn't realize he hadn't dropped it. You have any idea what that man's seen?
Which one of you is the one that killed my partner?
I don't remember who it was.
Hallow was
Who's it?
unconscious. I think it was Hunter.
Who killed Karen? It was him, wasn't it?
Kim almost killed me. He was defending his fellow agent. We were here to do a job, and it went real poorly, and I'm sorry about that. But it doesn't have to get any worse tonight. We can all just sit down and talk.
Alright, get your medic over here.
Sade, here goes.
Alright. Stabilized. Woo, 1d4 hit points, I believe. This should wake her back up.
Thank you.
Perhaps it wasn't actually a chest shot, but, you know, somewhere in the shoulder or something. A lot of pain knocked you out.
You get 4 hit points back.
Thank you, I've added that. Hunter should have stayed unconscious. It would have been better for him, I think.
I think the guard would take Hunter's weapon away while he was unconscious and being worked on. So now I'm going to assume he's got you guys all sort of around Hunter, and he's just still got his weapon trained on you all while you're grouped up there.
All right, well, first let me level with you, friend. We're not from the DOE.
Yeah, no shit.
So, before I tell the whole story, do you want to make any guesses about what we're here to do, or?
We're gonna stay right here till my employers get here, my backup gets here, and they're gonna take you away.
All right, well, that's fine, because we just had to make sure that this entire array could never operate again, because you were about to call down some unholy hell on the entire planet by playing that damn song.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All
Whatever
of the
these
researchers
scientists
in
were-
there. Yeah, the scientists. They were messing with shit they should never have.
Yeah, I kind of gathered. That's usually the job.
Do you even recognize the woman in the back? The one who appeared out of nowhere?
There's a few women that work here. Who?
There's a woman dead in the field in between the main research base and the atrium. She appeared out of nowhere in front of us.
He will take a moment. He kind of looks at you cautiously first, but then takes a moment to just lean around the corner again and peek in that direction. Does anyone take advantage of this moment?
Hallow will reach out with his power to wipe this man's memory of this entire night.
Shit. Okay. Absolutely. You can pay the cost for that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What was the cost for that? I gotta look that up.
Let's see. I can bring it back up as well.
Yeah, I know it's part of it is on the board here somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't have the cost written down though. Not here. I know it involves failing a sanity check though.
Yeah,
at
you have
first,
to
and then spending some
fail-
willpower.
Fail a sanity check to cast it, and then get.
Fuck.
All right.
So he tries to reach out with his power, and that doesn't work.
Something you can try again later?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it just takes another action to do it.
Yeah.
It's one turn. It costs 3 willpower and 1 sanity to cast. If okay, you just failed to cast it in the first place, so the other elements don't pop up yet. Okay, so yeah, that's just it. You reach out with it in this brief moment, and perhaps tuck your hand back in as he turns back around and says, "Oh, that looks like Dr. Klinger. You guys go on a murder spree out here? Oh, that's fine. They were probably going to do that anyways."
What do you mean they? Murder spree. I mean, yes, I kind of did that, but what do you mean they were going to do a murder spree?
Seems like this gentleman thinks his employers are gonna clean up shop after they get what they want.
He gives a grimace once you ask him more questions about that. Perhaps he's said too much, but then he kind of gives a slight nod of recognition. His lips are now sealed. It looks like to stop talking.
So you were going to kill these researchers too. So you're just what? Pissed off that you didn't get to kill him yourself?
He just stands there, stone cold, silent, rifle pointed at you. How long did you guys sit here like this? Are you gonna keep...
Did you?
I'm
I was
kind of
gonna
hoping
ask
that somebody
if
else
he
would
had
say
an
something.
exit plan for himself.
This is my exit plan. Keep you all here. My employer takes care of business. I go home probably with a bonus.
How do you know
So
your
you're-
employer isn't going to take care of you?
Anybody who's heard the song, they're going to take care of.
I don't know what song you're talking about.
The song
Can I
that all
just-
those researchers are whistling.
Since I've heard
Humming.
it enough times, can I start humming it now?
Sure.
Okay.
Everybody make me a sanity test.
I auto-fail, right?
I auto-fail.
1d4 on a failure.
Oh!
Wow.
Or 1d4, yep.
So, I know I have minus 20. Does a critical success on a 1 count to succeed?
That is always a success, actually. Yes. Yes, you are. That is the 1% chance you had of success. Incredible.
I have embraced the craziness.
Yes.
When saying it's looping back around,
I don't know what you're... What are you... Is that on the radio recently? I don't recognize it. I'm not one for music, really. I'll be honest.
does
Why were
he-
they cooking up songs?
Did he have to do a
loud?
sanity check? Does his brain hurt?
You don't see any reaction or recognition.
like, does he seem to be being honest about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because your brain hurts, but, like, I won't even make you roll for it. It seems like there was literally 0 indicators of anything. Like, just hearing the song for you all is, like, driving you into a near panic and causing you to lose sanity and stuff like that. And, like, you saw other researchers turn violent when they heard it and things like that. It, like, extremely obvious signs. This guy looks like somebody just started humming in front of him weirdly, like, huh? What are you doing?
Is he still playing the song inside the building?
D is now very on fire.
When I left the building, D was still playing the song, and
This is
louder,
correct.
and more accurately.
Is that
Indeed.
still happening?
Well, the doors are closed and the building's very on fire. I would say at this point, you guys have been waiting outside for a while. D is probably pretty well cooked. You don't hear any sound coming from inside other than the fire crackling away.
Well, since it had no effect, I'm gonna stop humming the song.
Oh, you
Right.
made Hunter sadder, so it had an effect.
Aw.
Oh, poor guy.
Well, you already don't like me, and I don't like you, so...
Well, Hal will once again reach out his hand and say, look, I'm sure we can come to an understanding, and try to do his thing again.
Okay. Alright. So, you pay the 3 willpower and the 1 sanity point.
That brings me to 1 willpower.
Uh-oh.
You
Heads up.
must... Oh, okay. That's fun. You must
He knew
overcome
what
the
he was
target in an opposed power test, which you now have at minus 20%.
Oh.
Pretty good. Yeah, he fails. The operator may instruct the target to forget one brief, specific event. This does not change the target's skills or known rituals. It cannot undo sand loss. A particularly frightening event may linger in the target's subconscious, and nightmares even after the memory has been obscured. Yeah, okay. So specific brief event. I feel like that could be up to a few minutes. Like this brief event of, oh god, oh shit, everything has gone to hell could count, but he will probably still feel that in his subconscious.
Yeah.
And would
So-
also awaken to see the building on fire.
True.
Yes, he will make him forget the brief moments of how this all happened and essentially that we had anything to do with it at all.
Okay. You wave your hand out and do this weird gesture. You utter these arcane words. He kind of stumbles back for a second, and his rifle points down at the ground as he loses focus for a minute, and one hand goes up to his temple. And then he wipes his brow a little bit and says, "Oh, shit. Sorry, I blinked out there for a second. This must be a stressful day.
Yes, of course it's stressful. The building's on fire.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
One of your researchers torched it.
Okay. Right. Where's the shooter? He starts pointing his rifle around. He's got his back to you now, and he's like looking around corners.
Your partner got him, but they traded blows. She's dead inside. She got the shooter though.
Oh, damn it. That's okay.
I don't know where they got the weapons from, but it was a weird glowing guy. Like nothing made sense in that building.
Okay, well, let's just sit tight. My employer will be here soon. We'll handle all this.
Look, we need to call our employer. We need to get our shit in gear too.
I don't think I'm allowed to let you do that.
Why not? What, you have instructions to kill everyone here anyway?
My employer would prefer to maintain control flow of information here. That is very clear.
Lawyer.
All right, well, how long is it going to take him to get here? Because right now, all of their work is burning down in front of you.
It'll take a while. We'll sit tight. It'll be fine. We won't starve. It'll just be hours. Let's just make yourselves comfortable here on the ground. We'll be all right. We'll get through this. Follow this by procedure.
If you say so. I'm tapped.
So, do you guys sit and wait? Continue trying to scheme your way out of this.
Hunter's just gonna drool a bunch.
Hala will look meaningfully at Hestia, like, I've done everything I can.
How many of you guys have gunshot wounds?
I have a gunshot wound.
I
I'm
do
fine.
not have any.
Can we at least, like, if we're gonna wait for your employer, does it have to be, like, right here? Or can we go somewhere where I can start patching people up? I'm a medic.
Inside the facility. And unfortunately, all the useful parts of the facility appear to be on fire.
What about the SUV we arrived in? We have medical supplies out there.
Seems to consider that for a moment. Okay.
Come
Yeah.
with us and oversee if you need to.
Yes. Yeah. He's got his rifle, like, he's clearly got good trigger discipline. He's got his finger down the side, and it's, like, pointed at the ground, but he never, like, puts the rifle away. Or he's walking around with the rifle at a ready position, so he can pull it up and aim and shoot at any time if he needs to. But he will follow you over to the SUV.
Alright. I'm going to start getting more medical gear that I have stashed there and working on that.
Yes. You're just doing healing
You know.
and stuff. I mean, you did first aid, but you can do a first aid to anyone you haven't done first aid to yet recently. Not Hunter, but anyone else.
Has anyone else taken any damage?
Yep. I took a
Nope.
whole shotgun. Twice.
All right, let's start patching you up.
So, buddy, how do I get a job like yours?
All right, 2 points.
I'll have to take that up with my employer. I'm sorry. I'm sure they'll debrief you.
Debrief. Is this another agency of some sort?
You could say that.
Or do you work with? What was his
Listen.
name? I think.
If I can be incredibly honest here, unless there's the very slim chance that they do end up hiring you, any information I give you would be something they would have to kill you for. So you just don't want to know. Don't take the chances.
Yeah, I know all about that kind of knowledge.
You
Right.
have no idea.
We've died for knowledge before.
More than once.
A few times, even.
Ziad's looking a little concerned.
You know, I guess they might not even have to kill you. They might just throw you in a loony bin.
They've tried to do that too. There was this time we woke up in glass cages.
He grips his rifle
We've
a little
been
more
missing for a
tightly.
month.
Kind of aims it, like, not at you, but like slightly raises his rifle into a more ready position.
I
No,
think
it's
this dude's
okay, guy.
Gonna grab shock blankets for them.
As you're gathering that all together, I need everybody to make me a sanity test.
How many do I lose on my auto fail?
Well, you
I'm
can
so
roll. If you get a
sorry.
1, you pass.
Nope, that's if you have.
Oh,
That's if you have like
Yeah.
1 or 2 willpower. If you have 0, you auto fail.
oh.
0 or less. 1d4 sanity loss on a failure.
I guess it balances.
This is another one of those moments where you feel this pulsing, this pain, this rising panic once again. The music is overtaking you. This time, you see a roiling, bubbling chaos. Perfectly pitch black, and yet you can still feel its movements, its vibrations. You can still see its chaotic nature. It's indescribable. It seems like it's moving across dimensions rather than space. And in this chaos is a sound. It's the music. It's as if the roiling chaos is the music itself. The chaos is a throne, and on it sits a massive being. Around the throne dances more small beings in rhythm with this tune. Incredible sight, an impossible sight. You feel it with all of your senses, not only your vision. You can taste the throne, you can smell the throne, you can feel the throne, though it is incredibly distant. And then you wake back up, all of you screaming inside the van, inside the SUV.
Oh.
The security guard aiming the gun at all of you still. What the fuck is going on with all of you? Yes.
Didn't
Can I
you feel
project
that? Go ahead.
Can I project that sanity? So roll a d4, is that right?
Yep.
I also
Joanna,
reached.
she still has willpower.
I also reached the fun thing of breaking point.
Oh,
Oh,
Is he? So Hallow had asked a question. Feel what? No, I don't. What are you? I jumped a little bit when you all started screaming at the same time. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what I'm supposed to feel? You need to calm down.
you don't feel the chaos, the smells indescribable, the throne,
No, what the
the
fuck are you talking
sound.
about?
You're lucky that you honestly don't know. But this is what your employers are working with.
Oh,
It
great.
is cooking our brains.
But you'll make great subjects for them, I'm sure. Then, and maybe that bonus I'll be getting will be a little fatter than I expected.
Where is he standing in relation to us who are like half sitting in the SUV?
I'm picturing about 20 feet away with the rifle trained on you.
Can Hallow like roll out the other side door and pull out the gun that he still had stashed?
Yeah, sure. But he'll shout at you as you do. No sudden movements. Hey, hey, what are you doing?
Hey, I fucking slipped. What does it fucking look like? God damn it. And then he'll pop up and shoot him in the head.
Okay, firearms at minus 20% because you are having a crisis.
Yep. Nope.
You pop up and take the shot, and that means next time we'll be entering initiative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.